I got to lean in.
The money into it. What's up, everybody? It's me again, and it is time to lean in, bitch. I'm here with Chad, and we're here to talk about the Real Housewives of Dubai. It is a double Dubai because obviously we missed last week. What's going on, Chad? How you doing?
What's going on? We finally got you back in the states. I'm from up
Yes.
I'm from up out the basement, so I'm happy
Uh,
that you're finally back so we can review. hmm
Chad was
hmm
harassing my whole. I actually did not have. I did not have a good time because every day I woke up, I was being harassed and abused by Chad and Sammy, who may be joining us a little later. So my trip actually was horrible, but thanks for checking on me.
I try to do a little something, something.
Okay, well, as I mentioned, we did not do Dubai last week, so this week is going to be a double Dubai. And I will say this: if the show, the first episode was good, and the second one was okay. The third one was okay too, but if it keeps at this pace, we're gonna do a lot more double Dubais than we are. We'll be out each week. I'm just saying, I'm enjoying the show, but realistically, the show thrives when there's stuff to talk about. And honestly, right now, there's only really one main thing to talk about, and that is, Ayan versus Stansberry. So
hmm
we'll get into it. If you're watching right now, whether it's your first time or you're a returning person to the lane, go ahead and hit that like button and be sure to
Thumbs up.
subscribe to the channel. A lot of people watching this are watching our show. I last night on Beverly Hills there were 88 people. Sammy corrected me. Watching Beverly Hills yesterday, and I feel like all 88 of y'all would not subscribe. So make sure if you're watching us, just hit that little subscribe button. And if you want to keep your notifications, also hit that bell. That'll get you emails and notifications like when we go live, like our luncheon links. Just subscribe, support, keep us in the algorithm, and we'll be here every week.
Yep.
Okay. Um, wait a minute. I think there's like a little audio in your background, Chad.
It's audio in my background. Let me check it real quick. Oh, that's because Jay is watching the show. He's
Oh,
watching the show live.
Chad is
Turn
so
it,
down.
turn,
He
turn
giving
it
us a
down a
little
little
low
bit, Jay.
budget.
Right. I
I
was
was like, I
told
feel like I
earlier.
heard myself, and I'm like, is that me?
I was told earlier to make sure I let y'all know since I was the scapegoat for being low budget when I was watching Beverly Hills. I saw a few low budget moments, but I ain't gonna call y'all out too much. I'm gonna
Oh,
let y'all make it.
oh, we well, right now we on Dubai. It's not low budget right now, so we'll get into the episode. So episode one left off with Ian and Stansberry having a big book. Well, actually, it was Ian and Caroline Brooks. We'll say Brooks and Stansberry because Caroline is just too much.
Yes.
Brooks and Ian had their back and forth, and then it turned into um, Ian and Stansberry. And this all happened because Ian was not invited to her like her bridal shower or something like that. I believe it was.
The is it the what is it, the hen party?
Mm, mm. The hen party, and so at the table they're all talking about it. Ian is like, "Listen, I don't want to talk about it. I wasn't invited." This gets into a whole thing, and basically ends up with Stansberry saying, I did not say you're not important, but I'm saying it now. And that's
hmm
how it ends. They drag Paula Ian across that table. And so in this particular episode, a couple things happened. I mentioned this on the first time. How do you feel about Sarah? Do you feel like Sarah may
Um,
have been a last minute addition or something? I don't know. It's
something about her does give last minute addition, but I will say with episode 2 and 3, it picked up a little bit
yes,
more.
I agree. I agree.
But yeah, the way she was ushered in, because it kind of came like almost like she was a friend of the show at first. Um,
Honestly, she cool, but she could very much so be that. But I guess if they want 6 people, then keep her. She's cool, but I mean, I don't know. She
I'll keep her before Nina.
really
Yeah, Nina. We'll get to that part, but I'm with
okay. We can talk about
Chanel
it. All right.
and how she felt. Yeah.
So we see Sarah and her family. We're gonna talk about more about Sarah later. Apparently, she's not married right now. I think she's her and Brooks are the only ones that are not married. Of course, Stansberry is close to being married. She's engaged or whatever. But the first big scene was Caroline B, which is Brooks and Milan, and they're basically talking about Nina and Stansberry's relationship. Apparently, before in the past when Nina and Stansberry first met, they didn't really like each other. And they basically are saying it's interesting that Nina is going so hard for her now because she said a lot of stuff. Not Nina, Milan says that apparently she called Stansberry ratchet and ghetto and stuff like that, or whatever. And I just wanted to ask you, how do you feel about someone maybe okay, so this is the true thing. I feel like sometimes we meet people and they may not be our cup of tea at the beginning. But if you find out, like say y'all become cool, you find they was talking trash about you, is that something that you kind of like be like, I don't like that, or can you still continue to have a friendship with that person? I want to ask you.
Depending on what they said.
Okay.
If they were saying things that, saying things as if they knew me
Okay.
and, just saying just nasty things, then it's
Yeah.
like, no, I probably wouldn't be able to really move on from it. But if it's like little chatter, like, a little banter, like, I don't really care for him, or I think he's a little standoffish, stuff like that from how
Yeah.
you experienced me, I can get over that. Because, sometimes we read people the wrong way. It's not always how you think it is. And
I agree.
it just depends. I would never go hard on somebody that I really don't know. The most I'm going to say is, I just didn't really care for his energy. That's the most
Yeah.
I'm really going to give.
Okay. I mean, based off what Milan didn't give us all the deets. She just says that she said she was ratchet and that she was ghetto. And I'm just thinking, like, first of all, why would Nina say that about Stansberry? And
Right.
that was a weird thing. That's this weird description to call. I mean, I'm not saying she can't, but you would think she was describing a black woman. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, it just sounded weird. I was like, okay, whatever. I'm not saying it's not true, but it sounds a little far fetched. But hey, whatever. That's her truth. Um, then they talk about Brooks and Ayan's relationship. They kind of touch on it. Apparently, Milan, Brooks, and Ayan are really good friends. They seem to
Mm-hmm.
be the only true friends in a relationship. Like they seem like they have a real friendship. So I like
Yeah.
that they highlighted that. I think it'll make good for the show. But I will see as they continue to work with each other on this show, like how it goes. Because Brooks kinda she's cool with Milan, she's cool with Ayan, but she really likes Stansberry. And
Yeah.
that seems to be where her loyalty resides.
Correct.
And then Ayan and Milan are kind of like this. They're like the Green Eye Bandits, freaking frag. They like that's how they are. And so
Yeah.
it's cool. So then we get a scene with we get a scene with Stansberry, Brooks, and Sarah, and they talk about Stansberry. She's building a new home. And they kind of talk about the previous dinner. And in this moment, this is first time. Another time we see Sarah in a scene with them, and Sarah basically says that she thinks that she was, experiencing some kind of trauma, and that she owes Stansberry an apology. Do you
Mm-hmm.
think that she owes? Do you think that Ian owes Stansberry an apology? Do you think an apology is owed either way? Let's say that.
Um, Here's the thing. I feel like at the end of the day, we have to be realistic when it comes to, friend circles and inviting people to stuff and not inviting people to stuff. I
True.
think that also we have to read the room. I feel
Yeah.
like there has to be some type of underlying issue between the two to where I feel like Chanel should have automatically or already knew, that she probably wouldn't be invited, which it seems like from the first episode
Yeah.
that she kind of already, they was already on shaky ground anyway.
Right.
So I don't think that Caroline Stansberry owes her an apology because at the
Okay.
end of the day, you invite who you want to invite to your stuff.
Yeah.
And it's really just that. I think that the aftermath of it, they could possibly apologize to each other because it seems to be more so a miscommunication of where they stand as friends or where they stand as, associates, whatever. So I think that's really what it is. It seemed like it was just a misunderstanding of their friendship. And clearly it's not really a friendship because Caroline
No.
said that she didn't say she detests her. She said, I loathe this woman. She said something that to where she basically like, I don't like her. I don't fuck with her. Simple as that.
I mean, and that's what I get. Like they both gave that vibe that they don't really care for each other like that, and they both have always had some kind of issue. So I don't think an apology is old. I found it very weird that Sarah was the one to say that because what I'm learning in this episode, well, these two episodes, is that these women are speaking up a lot about this dinner, but then nobody said much of anything at the dinner.
Yeah.
And it's just like, So I'm just kind of, especially Sarah, especially Nina, even Milan. It's a lot of things that's being said. I'm like, y'all were kind of like quiet. That's just me.
Yeah.
But Okay, so that was the scene with them. Then we get a scene with Nina and Ayan. And first of all, Ayan, I know she is a fashion model. I get it. I just can't. These wigs, some of them I just can't get with. This
I
ball,
live.
the little curly suit, little curl under
I
the ear.
live.
I live for the energy, but overall, the Bob was a fool. That's just
The
me.
the blonde bob, right?
Yeah.
I loved it. I thought. Let me tell you why I loved it. I loved it because only somebody that is a fashion model can get away with that, and I think that.
And that's why I say I get it. I get the energy is there. Like the model energy, like what she gives, I can truly see that she is a fashion model and
Mhm.
she's, that's what she does. But overall, as they said when they saw Robin from Potomac's red hair, I don't like it.
I I really liked it. I was like, I feel like she's one of those girls that because she is a fashion model, I feel like she's one of those girls that goes for looks instead
Yeah,
of just going for like I'm gonna look nice. Like
that's true.
Chanel, I mean not Chanel, but Lisa is more so just she's the dresser. She's the one that's gonna look put together. But I
Yeah,
love that Chanel is gonna give you
she
something
does. She
completely
gives
out
you
of
a
the
look.
box.
You know how Erica Jane used to be back in the day?
Yes.
She gives
Yes.
you a whole look. And honestly, when I look at Ayan, I see America's Next Top Model. Every time I see her, she's made to the next week, and
Fatima.
it's a new challenge. That's what I get from her. Every time we see her on the screen, it's like a whole different look, a whole new
Yeah.
week, a go see. You remember the go see challenges?
Oh my God, yes.
Ayan is always on a damn go see challenge from Top Model.
Always on the go. I saw somebody on Twitter said Chanel, Chanel, she must keep these the wigs on her purse, a little shake and go. She
They
just
just
put them
that's
on
what I'm
whenever.
saying. Like the quality of the wigs, they don't be given. I just can't get with it. Even as a fashion model girl, I got better wigs than that, and I don't get. I just
And you know what I also thought about too? I know, and I believe she's bald. I know at one
okay.
point she was. So I know sometimes I've heard women say that, some wigs when you are bald, they look more wiggy.
We have
And they, so I'm like, maybe that's what it is because her face is also very defined and very. So I'm like, maybe that's why her wigs be looking. Because I will say, I get it. When she did pop up on the screen, I was like, girl, where you going with this blonde wig? And then the
it was
more
her. It was the whole thing. I was
it was the
just
whole
like,
thing. Look, and the more I got into the whole thing, I was like, you know what? I get the wig. I'm with it now. I understand.
yeah, I should have screenshot it and put it on the screen because I mean, we're talking about episode 2. If you're watching, obviously we're going through episode 2 and 3, but yeah, it was all right. So she meets up with Nina, and basically she very much so clearly states that Nina is very plain, like mashed potatoes with no cream or
Yes,
something. She
with
said
no butter.
no butter or something like that. And I was like, okay. And so to each his own, whatever. But basically she confronts her talking about why didn't she stand up for her at the table.
Because
Apparently
she's known her longer.
she's known her longer. Nina and Stansberry are newer friends, even though they
Hmm.
act like BFFs or whatever. And Nina just basically acts as if she don't even recall what happened at the table, like she couldn't keep up. And I'm just like, okay. And so one thing I did like from this is that she did admit that she was triggered.
Hmm.
In general, and we get into it more when she meets up with Sarah. She breaks it down more, but she said that basically it was the not being invited thing. And I like that she owned it because most women won't ever admit. People
Yeah.
rarely ever admit when they're triggered about something, and I think it's just a very grown person thing to do sometimes because we are human. We are triggered by things from our
Yeah.
past. So I like that she said it. And so she basically tells her like, listen, I was friends with you longer. It was a point you didn't even like her. I don't know why you going so
Hmm.
hard for her. Why you're not defending me? Like, were you not at the same table? And so like, what were your thoughts on what Nina? I guess Nina's response and just how Ian confronted her about
I thought that what Ian said about her was 100% correct, 100% accurate, even though it was hilarious
it.
when she said, she's a flip flopper, skyscraper. I have it
She said,
not
well,
written
she said a
down.
lot of things. Ian said a lot of things. I will say she's a wordsmith. She can
She,
talk.
she
I
said,
like.
Nina, I see you for who you are, flip flopper, skyscraper, climbing the motherfucking sky. And I agree with her. I felt like Nina is, to me. and I don't want to go too hard on Brooks yet because I'm gonna go hard on Brooks for episode 3. But
Uh-oh.
Nina reminds me a lot of Brooks, but in a less confrontational way. Like she wants to be cool with everybody, so she kind of reminds me of Cynthia. She don't want to say too much and don't want to, don't want to offend nobody directly or don't want to, side with anybody too much. And, Ayana's looking at it like, girl, like at the end of the day, whether you know me longer or not, you can still stick up for what's right. You can stick up for, just say something and stick up for me a little bit more. Now, I will say, I think that her energy towards Nina was a bit much considering your friend was also there and didn't really speak up for you too much either. So
that was yeah. I'm gonna get Milan. Don't you worry. You stay on me. I'm gonna get Milan. Like yeah, she agitated me as well. Carrie Conversation says, I thought Chanel showed up with that blonde wig on, since she thought Nina was kissing up to a blonde Caroline. But Chanel like, I can be blonde too. Okay, that's a nice perspective to put on the Carrie.
Well, hey, she given episode 3, the beginning when her, Lisa, and Brooks met up, they said she always has tricks up her sleeve. So that could be a reason why she did it.
Well, she clearly brings a gift everywhere damn where too. That's one thing. I'm like, okay, so she's an interesting woman. I will say, first episode, I'm like, but she's okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think she's very interesting, and she's reality TV gold in terms of her confession. I think she is really good with her words. She can talk. I just want to see her more on the confrontational level when she is confronted, because she didn't really impress me against Brooks in the first episode. I thought she did what she could do, but we'll see. We saw her on Watch What's Happening Live last week with Crystal. I mean, it don't take much to outshine Crystal. So I mean, I'm just saying.
That is facts. That is facts.
Okay. So I think y'all knew Nina was talking about Caroline, so Chanel probably thought Nina was going to be on her side. Okay. So then
that's fair.
They show Stansberry. Stansberry is jury shopping. Look at this 5.6. Was it 5.6 million or 6.5? 5.6 million, I think, necklace, I believe. I'm like, okay, girl. Like, y'all got money. And they show Milan. She's shopping at Thanksgiving. I thought it was the cutest thing. Her little boy is so cute. But when he sat there and ate all of those cookies and closed it, was like, close it. I was like, that is so cute.
little spoiled self. Yeah, that was
yes,
cute.
Very much so. He's very cute and adorable. But she's basically planning for it's Thanksgiving, and it's interesting seeing how everyone is preparing for it over in another country. Obviously, all these women, minus Sarah, are they from the States or just other parts? I believe. I know Brooks is from Boston. Milan is, well, they've all spent a lot of time in the States. I'll say that.
Yeah.
And so they've pretty much come accustomed to some of our traditions. So just Thanksgiving. So it was good to see them like, you're ready for that. The first thing before Milan even said it, I saw that sign where it says non-Muslim, and I was just like, what is this about? But she did explain. I thought that was very interesting.
I did too. I thought that was very, very interesting. Because with this being Bravo's first international series, it's good to, I think when people went into Dubai, we automatically just thought of the riches and, the wealth and the glitz and glam. But I'm really happy that Bravo is not only focusing on that stuff, they're focusing on, how they're actually living in Dubai and, the things that we don't see about Dubai. Because, when she was going around the grocery store, like everything looked like a normal grocery store in the US. The packaging, the packaging looked different. A lot of times when you go to other countries, especially like island countries, the package, it may be Oreos, but the packaging looks completely different. It may be Coke, but it looks completely different from the Coke here. So everything there looked exactly the same, in my opinion. And I just thought it was very interesting to see the non-Muslim side and the Muslim side of the grocery store. So that was very, very interesting to me.
Yeah, I'm glad she explained it, because when I first saw it, I was like, what the hell? In my head, I'm like, when it's gonna be like, what's it gonna say? Colors, no colors. But then she explained it, and I was like, oh, okay. Let me pipe down, Shaq. Because I was like, what? That's the first thing I saw when I'm watching it. But I liked that it broke it down. She was looking for the meat. She eats meat. Kudos to her.
She was very adamant about that.
About the meat, yes, she was. Okay, so then we get to the actual Thanksgiving dinner, and there's two dinners. They showed Nina and Sarah you kind of learn a little bit more about Nina and her French fries and her kids. Nina talks about her marriage, how she met her husband. Sarah has been married. We thought it was 2 times, but the son said 3 times, so I don't know. Which sound like the son. Kids don't lie. I'm just saying they tell the truth. So
Right.
there must be another man up in there.
It might
that we
have
don't
been
know
an
about.
might have been an annulment or something. You know, a lot of times when they get marriages annulled, they don't recognize them.
Yeah. And so at Ian and Milan's Thanksgiving, it's Milan, she's hosting, and Ian brings her a goat. And I'm just like, I thought maybe honestly, I thought it was her goat at first. I thought she was bringing a goat over as a pet. But apparently she's bringing a goat over to give to Milan.
Hmm.
And I'm just gonna say, if somebody brought you a goat, what would you do?
I
I feel
thought it
like
was.
go
Listen, I
ahead.
thought it was interesting, but I would probably be like, "What are you doing? Why is this goat here?"
Because who just gives
Um,
somebody a pet? Like, how you not want an animal? I don't even think she had no animals.
I
And
don't
a
think so
goat?
either. A goat, a whole goat of all things, you bring a goat. But yeah, I thought that was very another thing that was interesting. You know, it's something that they do over there, I guess. I just thought it was like, what in the world are y'all doing?
Yeah, I didn't get it. I mean, I got it when she mentioned it, but the goat fell in the water, and I was just like, "Oh my god, this goat finna drown."
Right.
The goat ended up running away. Apparently, they come back the goat, and I'm just like, "Girl, you brought a goat over here."
Right. I thought they was gonna cook it, honestly.
Oh my god, baby, let me tell you something. If they had to cook that goat, Peter would have
I
been
did.
all over Bravo.
I thought the goat was gonna get cooked. I really did. I was like, maybe they're gonna cook it. I was just trying to figure out what was going on.
Lord. So at the actual table, they talk about. So Ian tells her about the conversation with Nina. She talks about how Nina basically flip flopped and wouldn't have her side. She also talks about Stansberry, and just basically where she stands with her. And after like I said, the goat gets lost. Did you have any thoughts on this particular scene? Because we going this conversation about Stansberry versus Ian is gonna come out a lot. So
Yes.
anything you want to add if I get to this last scene of episode 2?
Episode 2 was I don't want to say it was a snooze. It was
Yeah.
just like there.
Yeah. So the last scene was Ian and Sarah. And Sarah, I think she said either she does hypnotherapy or she knows someone that does it. I can't think of which one it was.
I think she
But
says she does it,
yeah.
if
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not mistaken.
Okay. Not Jamaicans love goat soup. Well, that's what she said. That's what she seems like. Child, this would get eaten in Jamaica, honey.
She
And she
did.
probably wanted to eat it, but maybe she did eat it. Maybe she ate it at this
I
point.
think she is
I mean, this was
possible she ate
November.
it.
By now, that goat is probably gone and plump.
Listen, she might have ate it. Curry goat.
I don't know.
Hey.
So yeah, in the scene, this is obviously a scene where Ian and Sarah are getting to know each other because they
Hmm.
start off kind of with more so like, tell me, it was giving an interview. Tell me something about yourself. Tell me something about yourself. And it was interesting or whatever. But Ian's side of everything was very interesting. She breaks down the whole triggering thing. And basically she had an abusive father. And she talks about how she at one point was tied to a tree in the rain. Um, and I just watched episodes maybe an hour ago, but I watched this clip while I was in Greece last week, and I found it very interesting that she shared it. But what are your thoughts on the whole thing and how she broke it down? And does it justify her feeling the way that she felt about not being invited to, I guess not just Stan's everything, but anybody's thing?
I thought that it was like I never want to take away from anybody's trauma and how it triggers them and what triggers them. But I thought there was a bit of a reach, honestly. And I like Chanel. I thought that it was a bit of a reach as
Mm-hmm.
to why she responded the way she did.
Mm-hmm.
Because, your dad being abusive, I didn't really understand how it correlated to her feeling a way about not being invited somewhere by, another woman. It was just like, it was just kind of awkward to me that that's what she came up with to, you know, to basically tell this story. I feel like I wanted her to
Mm-hmm.
tell the story, but not as a as a response to you being triggered.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. Like I would have wanted to hear this story out of that context. Like just
Yeah.
to, so we could get to
That
know
was
her.
the
I
only
didn't.
thing for me. I didn't like that it was used to justify her acting that way, or you know what I'm saying, being triggered. I would have rather, like, the story was deep, you know, very deep.
Yeah.
And that's, my heart goes out to her for experiencing that. You know, she clearly states that she does not and has not made a good relationship with her father. He's never forgiven him.
Right.
I don't know if I could either. I asked her, they forgave my dog for shit in the house yesterday. So I know I would. So my heart goes out to her. But when she was giving the story, I was with her, but then she tried to tie it in and say, she was like, that's why I'm so triggered by not being invited and by not by someone telling me that I'm not important.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now see, now okay, now in her defense, I will say she did a good job with tying it together.
Mhm.
I'll give her that, because I do get the correlation of somebody telling you you're not important, or hearing you're not important, and then you tying it to your dad who's telling you, you know, who's tying you to a tree, and who's like, you know,
Yeah.
not really there for you and not really doing anything for you. You could, you know, begin to lose some type of self-worth. And
Yeah.
I hate to even go this route too, but you know, growing up in Africa, even though, you know, I didn't grow up in Africa, so I don't want to speak too much on it, but a lot of what we know and how people view a lot of people that grow up in Africa, you know, it seems to be very it seems to be a lot of poverty. And you know, a lot of
Mhm.
them a lot of them do come from poverty, especially a lot of the fashion models. They end up making it big because they're so unique looking and all that. So it's like, I get it. She may have had a very traumatic childhood and just probably thinking she would never escape that. And she probably just has always felt deep down that she isn't important, or that she
Mhm.
is not. So in a way, I can see her tying it. I just thought that she reached with it a little bit than she should have.
So Prince J says, and this is true, she tied it in with her dad preferring her sister over her. So it was a lot of things that she brought in as the reason. It was the fact that he was abusive, the fact that he blamed her for the issues in their marriage, and then
Mm-hmm.
she did make, so it was a couple. I think she was going the right path, but I think
Yeah.
some of the reasons just weren't all the way, you know. But still, I'm not trying to invalidate her feelings or whatever, but it didn't bring it around. It wasn't full circle for me. It was like half circle. I
Yeah.
just
She rambled till she couldn't ramble no more, and then by the
and then,
time she got done rambling, it didn't make no sense,
exactly,
or it was
exactly.
all off.
Right, right. Carrie Conversation says the truth is Ian believes that Stansberry thinks she's better than her. She said Stansberry never gave her a chance. Glad she told her backstory, but it was a reach. I agree.
Agreed.
I agree.
Agreed.
And I want to know. I want to figure out what. All right, WCO. I want to figure out like what happened between them two, because it's so weird. You know,
Yeah.
it is so weird. I don't know, but you know, Sarah, she talks about her marriages and being physically and mentally abused. And you know, she wants to introduce Ian to hypnotherapy. And that's kind of how the episode ends. You know, if that pretty much ends the episode. I don't think I missed anything. If I missed anything in the chat, let me know before we talk about episode 3. Because now we're finishing episode 2, going to episode 3. Okay, so it is apparently like fashion week, fashion show, whatever, in Dubai. And Milan has a maternity clothing line, right?
Nina Rowe.
Nina
Yep.
Rowe, yes. And at the beginning, she reaches out to, apparently Ian helps her out a lot. This is like one
Mm-hmm.
of her biggest, I guess, models for her brand or whatever. The pictures they
The
showed of
biggest.
her, yeah, the picture they showed of her with the belly. I was like, oh shit, I thought she was pregnant. I didn't give me one of those, child, so I can. You know how you go to the mall or the store, and they be like expecting mothers or families only. I need to
Oh
give me
my
one of those, so
God.
when I get out the car, I can park in those spaces. And then I'm gonna take it out when I get in the store.
I
But
cannot.
I was like, that's probably what Beyonce had on.
Oh my, don't go there. Don't go there. It's her day right now. Don't do that.
Let me stop, chat. I don't want the beat to give me and shut me down. So yeah, so basically she reaches out for Ian to help her with the casting call for models. And this kind of reminds me of Kenya and Cynthia, just when they had that scene a long time ago. Just because they look for models. But it was a nice scene. I love that, her husband supports her. He didn't
Mhm.
really support the vision of it, but
Mhm.
she is doing it for herself. He supports her, so I like that she has that.
Yeah, I love that she
Um,
explained it too, because a lot of times
yes,
people
yeah,
think that just because you don't see the vision means that they don't believe in you, and it's like, no, that's not the case. I think
right,
that a lot of times when you invest in money, people like to look at money on the surface, and it's like, no, money needs to actually be looked at seriously,
yeah,
because this is an investment, and
yeah,
at the end of the day, yes, I believe you, yes, I love you, but I really might not see the vision. But I love that she explained that
yeah.
he believed in her enough to basically see the vision.
Okay. Ayan and her English, it is hilarious to me. Yes, she did. So the first thing she said to me that was funny was trying to use the word verbatim, and
I
it
fell
was
out.
wrong. I was just like, she said, I went to the bank, or went to the bank and said I need my money, but verbatim. And I said, yes. And then like Prince Jay says, Ayan using supersize to describe plus size women. I was like. And then I'm glad Milan was like, "No, honey, they're not a Big Mac meal, not McDonald's." No, she's funny, she's hilarious, and
Yes,
she's able to admit, my English has gotten a lot better, but she speaks well enough for me. But I think that we're gonna see a lot more mishaps in her vocabulary, and I'm excited
yes,
to see it. Um, I love the husband on here. Yeah, they're cool. The husbands. I mean, we haven't really seen. We see them in more supporting roles. We haven't really seen them. I don't need to see them in the capacity of Salt Lake City, New Jersey,
me
or
either
Married to Medicine. I don't need that. Not on
at
every
all.
franchise. Sorry.
They're not that interesting.
All husbands are not that interesting. Sorry. You hear
Mm-mm.
that, Salt Lake City? Do you hear that? What's going on, Gaber? I don't watch the show. This showing love. Thank you for showing love. It's a
Right.
good show. The first episode was the best. I think it's gonna get even better. But yeah, thank you for stopping by. Gaber was in here yesterday showing out for Beverly Hills. He's Team
Yes,
Crystal
he
now.
was.
So if you are Team Crystal, hit up Gaber. No, I'm just talking. We love Gabriel. Okay, so then going on in this episode, Nina and Stansberry do like a staycation at this hotel, and the hotel was everything,
Yes, it
especially
was.
with the fish and the man coming up in the scuba gear.
With
I
the
was like,
sign.
this
Yeah.
is this. I haven't been to Dubai, but they're making me want to go. I never really cared to go, but I may
Me
have to go
either.
down there and see what's going on at Dubai. I'm gonna take two of my credit cards though, because I know it's expensive.
Listen, I said the same thing when I saw that hotel room. I was like, okay, this may be the selling point for me, because I'm like you. I never really been super intrigued by Dubai, but
Yeah, I never
now I'm
had.
like, I might, And the more I'm watching the show, the more I'm seeing that it is possible to live regular, or like how we live in the States, I should say. So I'm more intrigued to go to Dubai. But
So
I think I would have to stay at that hotel though, and so I'm gonna save up some good
uh,
old
we're gonna have
money.
to. You know what? Maybe the lean we can all go and we all put in. If we
Hey,
all put in, we can get that sweet, and we got to
hey,
start now for 2025 because I know it's
okay.
expensive.
And Caroline said you got to book it 3 months in advance.
Yeah, so yeah, we got to go ahead and get a little a fun together.
Listen, some y'all want to donate to us. Y'all more than welcome to.
Okay. So then we get a chance to meet Stansberry's daughter. She clearly does not want her mother to have any more kids. She kind of says that Sergio is still a kid himself. I was like, ooh, okay. I mean, he is young, but I mean, they like 10 years apart actually. She's 15, he's
Yeah,
26. Is that right?
I think he's 28.
28. Okay, 28. So then, not too close. I mean, not too far from each other. So the most interesting scene was Ian, Milan, and Brooks. And this scene was interesting because, okay, so Ian brought another gift. She brought lemons. She said to make lemons and lemonade. Shout out to Mama Joyce. Shout out to Todd and Mama Joyce.
Okay.
But it was a very awkward silence at the table for a minute, and I was trying to figure out where was it going to go because it. I mean, this is the first time Ian and Brooks have met up since the whole dinner, right? And so
Hmm.
they talk about the dinner, and the biggest thing was whether or not Stansberry really did say that Ian was not important. Brooke says, no, I said it jokingly. And she explains, basically what she meant with it and why it really shouldn't be much of an issue. But she kind of owns it and kind of leaves it at that. And Milan, to my surprise, is very headstrong in this conversation, saying that Stansberry is very calculated and just kind of talking crazy, not talking crazy, but talking about her in a way that was kind of shocking because I felt like Milan was more of a neutral party, but she is clearly one-sided, and that's fine to Ayan. I just wish
Mm-hmm.
she was like that in person because the type of the Milan that I was seeing at that table, I would have thought she would have stopped that whole table at the dinner and be like, "Hey y'all, we're not gonna do this to my friend or something," but she didn't. So, what are your thoughts on this situation between Brooks and Ayan, and just how verbal Milan was about it?
I thought that it was, like you said, it was a very weird silence. I didn't really get it. But I enjoyed the scene overall because I felt like I felt like what Lisa, I'm sorry, explained on the first episode was saying how she kind of told us that Brooks and actually Lisa and Ayan kind of told us that Brooks and Ayan's relationship is very like, tit for tat, and they do this or whatever. So I thought it was interesting to see their interaction and to actually hear both sides. I love that they talked it out and pretty much just explained that
Mhm.
you should have called me or you should have said this and said that. It seems like it was, oh my God, it's so funny. JP Rob said, is Brooks the G.O.A.T of Dubai? I actually think so, but I'll get to that later. But
Oh,
anyway, yes, I actually do believe that. But no, I just thought it was a overall good scene. I thought that Milan, um, with her saying what she said about Stansberry, it was kind of like, like it was really interesting because I didn't really expect it. But like you said, it was more so an eye opener. Like, okay, clearly she is Team Ayan, and that's just where her loyalty lies. And
and that's
at the end
totally
of the day,
fine.
that's fine. I think that we might have to end up, or we'll probably end up navigating away from that first scene. I mean, that first episode with her not standing up for Ayan. I think we're going to start seeing her stand up for Ayan.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that she's going to gradually get there, but she seems like the type of person that you have to continuously do something to for her to snap. She doesn't seem like the type to just go off like right then
Yeah,
and there.
that's true. Okay. I mean, I think it's time. The thing is, I'm mentioning it, as far as her not standing up for Ian, but Ian hasn't said anything about it. She said, she gave no issue about it. And so as maybe when they have their reunion and they ask for questions, Cortez from LA will ask a question to figure out why was Ian upset with Nina and not Milan. But hey, whatever, we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll
Right.
see. Or maybe we'll mask it as Keisha from Dink Buck Doo or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, so they have their dinner, and it just kind of ends with that. And at the next scene is Brooks and Stansberry. Of course, she goes and she talks to Stansberry. They're doing cosmetic surgery, like some kind of sculpting. And the shade that Brooks threw about was it Sarah? Was it Nina? Who was it? They got plastic.
Sarah,
Sarah shade. Um,
very much shade.
and I forgot to mention, Carrie said when Brooks told Ian to be the bigger person, Ian said, "Why she is 50, I'm a baby." That was funny.
Yes, she really is hilarious.
She's funny. She's very funny. I can't deny that.
It don't seem like she takes herself too serious, which makes it even fun. Like she does take herself serious as far as
Yeah,
her being that girl, but she doesn't take
yeah,
herself too serious as far as how she navigates, and I love that about her.
true. She seems fun. She seems fun. I can honestly say we could definitely have a kiki. So Stansberry and Brooks, the Carolines beat up or whatever. They're getting their body sculpting or whatever. And Brooks tells Stansberry what Milan said. And at this point, Stansberry is just like, oh, okay. They like freaking basically like I see with that they like the Doublemint twins,
Hmm.
what's the Pinky and the Brain or whatever. And that brings us to the fashion show. Now, the fashion show was very interesting because the first thing we find out is that Stansberry ain't coming.
Mm-hmm.
And I found that to be kind of messed up, actually.
I
Just
did too.
because, well, for one, Milan gave up her day to Hermes to make sure that she was at
Bingo.
Caroline's Henny. Was it Henny party? Not Henny. The
Hen party.
Hennessy party, whatever.
Look, where your mind at?
Child in the kitchen. Yeah, so at the hen party, she made sure that she was there. And I can't wait to a bridal shower and a fashion show, but they're both really big monumental events for people. And
Mm-hmm.
so I'm gonna say Stansberry wrong as hell. She should have
Yes.
made sure she had her ass there, and she did. She did. What I can applaud Milan on is that Milan went to the event even knowing that her ride or die was not invited, knowing that her ride or die was not liked. Stansberry chose not to go because she was in question with one of the persons and then just find out information from somebody. I just didn't like it, actually.
I hated
And
it.
now at this point, I hope Milan lets her have it, you know what I'm saying, in some kind of capacity, because I didn't think it was right.
Yeah, I agree. That
And
was
then like
definitely
what she said in the
messed up.
message was, "You're not expecting me anyway." Like that's just a lot of sass. I mean, it was cute though, but still, it was just like, okay, all right. So, what do you think?
I was wondering what made her say that in the message. Like, if I invited you, and Lisa said that everybody had known about it for months. So I'm
Yeah.
like, if I invited you, why would you not think that I wanted you there? So this is where my issue comes in with Brooks.
Mhm.
And
But to answer your question, why wasn't she there? Brooks is the reason why she wasn't there. So maybe we didn't
period.
see more, but that conversation at the sculpting party was definitely the reason why Stansberry was not there. I've said it, but go
Yes.
ahead.
But that's why I'm thinking that reunion time, Brooks is gonna get her ass handed to her because she's a confessional gangster. She says this and says that, and she acts like she wants to be friends and she wants to do this, but she's really a flip flopper. She's Nina in a more confrontational way. She'll get in the mud and argue and all that, but to me, she's just a confessional gangster. She says so much in the confessionals, and she don't really be about that. I don't think she really be about what she be saying in the confessional because she went in on Lisa and Chanel, calling them, Dumb and Dumber, Pinky and the Brain, and
Mhm.
all that or whatever. It's like, but you was just with them, and you was just, you know, I just felt like it was
Well,
one of those.
the thing what with confessionals, I tried to separate the two just because we know that confessionals are filmed after they have already been filming some time of the show.
That's true.
So, and you got to think about it, confessionals they film. So, let's say they start filming in November, confessionals probably happen in like maybe end of January or maybe beginning of January. And then, you also have production asking questions. So, I mean, yeah, like they have time to think about all this stuff. The moments have already happened, and they got production asking questions. So maybe something happened between them two. I'm sure something happened because honestly, Ian and Milan are friends. They keep Brooks like on the outside of their friendship, and so I feel like maybe something else may happen more. I'm not sure, but yeah,
Yeah.
um, I agree.
Yeah. Something about Brooks just kind of rubs me the wrong way. She just seemed like
I do like Brooks though. I do enjoy her. I don't think I don't like about her. I don't like her. I don't really don't like her hanging with Stansberry. I'm sorry. I just really rather her be with Milan and Ian because I mean
yes.
I don't like them. Like somebody said, Stansberry has a superior attitude, and she speaks to it in her confessional. She said, people think that what she said. People think she said something in her confessional about how people perceive her. With having that kind of attitude. She spoke on it a little bit in the episode, but she does, and I hate that Brooks is falling into that because I'm sure she would have a much better time with Milan and Ian, not with
I
Stan.
agree.
I'm
I
just saying.
agree. And she don't even seem like she is
Message.
loyal. Like Brooks don't really have no loyalty really to nobody because I was actually shocked when they were at the sculpting thing and they were first getting there and Caroline was like saying how she gets paid to get the work done and all that.
Mm.
Stansberry was saying she gets paid to get the work done and how they have her picture all over the thing. And Brooks really shaded her. She was like, I don't really understand why they she's like, oh yeah, Caroline, she gets this done and all that, but I don't even understand why, because she's not that influential. Like she threw shade at her, and I was kind of like, why you throwing shade at Stansberry now? Like, she just seems to throw shade at whoever she wants to throw shade at whenever. I just
Mm.
didn't really understand what it was. Like, girl, pick a side, or just, I don't. It was just, I didn't like it.
Yeah, I still like her. However, I hate that she, I'm not really a big fan of Sheree like that. I never really have been to me. But I hope that she don't fall in that because I want to like her, but child, it is giving a little Sheree, and I don't like the way Sheree moves. So I'm feeling like Sonya, girl. I don't like the way you move, girl. I can't be your friend. I don't like all that. I'm a 4-time Olympic gold medalist.
You better put some respect on my name. Shit, I
Respect
know
on my
that.
name. Okay. So yeah, she basically she tells Milan, she tells Ian about the fact that Stansberry is not coming, and Stansberry is no sorry, I'm sorry, not Stansberry. Ian is just like, I hate that she's not coming to support you, but hey, we got a show to get on to, and I'm glad that the show continued, especially considering like it's a big event, like it wasn't anything, and I hate the fact that she went to the damn hen party and she didn't go to her party. That makes me more
I
upset.
swear that made me so upset.
So I hope she don't plan on going to the wedding or anything else from her, because that until Caroline gives her an apology and the sure is not going to happen again. Caroline is sorry. Stansberry is wrong. Period. In my eyes.
Period. I
So,
agree.
um, so the fashion show was nice. They had a couple of struggles in the back. Oh, girl had to give her heels to somebody else to get the show going. But overall, the show did go well. Um,
I thought that I thought that I was really happy, because a lot of times when people get on these reality shows and they want to sell something,
yeah,
they want to say, I got these, I'm doing fashion, or I'm doing music, or whatever. A lot of times it's a fool. Just being honest,
yeah.
it's not together. But to me, I really looked at her line and said, she's actually talented.
Oh
If she's
yeah, no, it
designing and
looked like
sketching,
something. It looked like
yes,
something. Like that. I feel like I was at a real show. Like it
yeah, I
wasn't
was,
just. It wasn't just for TV. It wasn't
yeah,
just because. Oh my God, I have a platform now. Let me get a brand out there. Let me sell some candles.
yeah,
let me she by correct. A lot of people get on these reality TV shows, and because they after the first and second season they get a little money, and we as black people be like, girl, I got a little money, girl. Let me invest some money in A, B, and C. But
hmm,
sometimes these visions and these products and these brands are not always thought out. But
yeah,
I really am intrigued by it. One is for maternity, and the fact that she's figuring out how it can grow and be
yeah,
more profitable by including women who are not pregnant. So kudos to her, and a real nice
yeah.
event. I agree. Um,
That white outfit with the one that they highlighted when they had the little talk afterwards with the, I would have to get a picture of it, but it was so beautiful.
you gonna wear it?
I might, you never know. Labor
James,
Day.
don't let him wear that. Don't let him wear that. No, they were cute. She had a very nice collection. Um, I will say I know her husband's proud, and I wonder. I haven't researched it, but I wonder how is it doing like now, because this was
Yeah.
in November, I believe. So I'm curious to
Yeah.
know.
She said the first drop was gonna be, I believe she said March.
Oh, so it's already out here,
I believe.
because March was 2 months ago, 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Okay. So then the scene, I didn't see the last few minutes, but you can tell me what happened because I was rushing to get over here. But I know they had a conversation afterwards. What
Yeah. It
can
was
you?
just, it was, well, we can also, I don't know if you saw Nina requesting fries throughout the whole thing
I
because she
did
couldn't
see
eat
that.
anything.
What did she reveal that she liked fries before this episode? Because she mentioned it a couple times, and I was like, "Girl, not you demanding fries at a damn fashion show."
Yeah, they said I believe she's a vegetarian. I don't think she's vegan. I think she's vegetarian. Um, but she did mention on
That's what I was saying.
episode
Maybe
one,
I
I
missed
think.
it. I know
It was,
she mentioned it at the Thanksgiving event. She had fries, which I thought
yeah,
was weird, and I was like, but it made more sense in episode 3. I mean,
yeah.
I
She
like
said
fries too. Damn,
she loves fries.
yeah.
And then
That's
also they mentioned it at the hotel, I believe, right? They said, when she said something about they knew I was coming because to have scones, and Caroline was like, "Oh, they would have really known you was coming if they had fries."
Yeah, yeah. Fries is a little basic. No shade. I like fries, but girl,
I
fries.
mean, that's what Chanel said. She's basic. She's boring.
I mean, Lena is. I do like Lena. She's interesting, but the fries thing is like, okay, girl. I'm sure every time she's on Watch What's Happening Live, if she's invited, because she, I don't. She's not in the forefront for me of the cast. However,
Yeah.
she is in it somewhat. I'm curious to see her in an argument. I want to see her go at it with somebody,
Yeah.
or just see what happens. Because right now we know Brooks is going to argue. We know Ayan is going to argue. We know Stansberry is going to say some stuff. The rest of the cast, we I don't know. We'll see.
We didn't talk about Sarah's scene where she was talking about her bankruptcies and talking about her. She was saying how she has all these businesses, and she's a businesswoman and all that. And they were showing her like taking the pictures. What I will say is Sarah's drop dead gorgeous. That's some great work that I didn't know she had work until Brooke shaded her and they showed the picture. But that's some damn good work because she looks amazing.
She does.
So I'll give her that. But yeah, I thought it was very interesting. I guess we'll get more into the whole bankruptcies and all that later on in the season. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it got to be a reason why they gave these ladies what they got sand. I don't know what they have. Is it sand?
Is it sand or is it gold?
Oh, it's gold. It's gold.
It's gold. Yeah.
Sand. I didn't even realize. I thought it was gold. I thought it was sand. But yeah, I guess we'll see where everybody falls into place in the story.
Yeah, and to go back to what you said in
the
beginning,
the tattoos. I do remember that scene. I forgot.
Yeah. To go back to what you were saying in the beginning about maybe Sarah being a last minute addition, it could have really been that because the more I think about it, she's the only one from Dubai, and she's the only one that is what did she say? What did she say she was? She said it. She kept saying it in her scenes. But she's the only one that's from Dubai, and I feel like they probably were like, we need somebody that is actually from here, that is of the, that is of their ethnicity, race, and all that. And I think that they probably looked at it like, let's get Sarah. And at the end of the day, she does. I don't know. It seems like she doesn't really know anybody too well.
Yeah, she's kind of the wild card because she seems like she's getting to know everybody. In every scene, it seems like that.
Yeah, so she may have been a last edition. The more and more I think about it.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So we'll see how she unfolds.
She's beautiful. I'll say that. Everything else, I ain't got much to go off of. Just saying.
Yeah, her and Nina are not too far from each other.
I think Nina has a little more to to offer. I find Nina more interesting than I do Caroline. I mean, Caroline is kind of boring to me. Actually, she's kind of boring. I don't know. Like she seems a little bit more inhuman. Like she gives me robot. I just can't. I'm trying to like connect with her, but it's just even behind an accent and all the dogs, she just seems kind of boring to me. But I don't know. We'll see. And I said that. I think I said that in the first episode. So maybe we'll see. She got a little mouth, she got a little sassy things here and there, but she's kind of robotic, and I don't really like robotic. At least Nina has life in her. I feel, even with the fries. I don't know.
I agree. I can see that. I like Stansberry, but she does give that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that we have discussed everything in the show. If I missed anything, let me know in the chat. But I'm gonna go ahead and send the link for a few call-ins if there are any today. Of course, this is the time, as I've said earlier. Make sure you hit that like button. Hit the like button. I will say this too. Some of y'all are hitting that unlike button, the thumbs down, and that's fine because that also helps us in the algorithm too. I'm just saying that means we are really growing because I am seeing a lot of dislikes of some of these videos. And I welcome them all. We people that had haters since the 80s. So I'm just saying.
they want you to agree with them about they page.
You know what? That's one thing I like about our channel is that we have a diverse matter of opinions. And if you
Mm-hmm.
don't like it, you won't. But for the most part, we always give you some good content. So shout out to all of those that like, and shout out even more to those that dislike, because it's helping us too. Thank you.
Yeah.
Should I even see the damn link? Who out this damn talking?
But y'all that's not hitting the like button, in the words of Garcelle, y'all are bugging the shit out of me.
Thank you. Okay, Sammy. He said, hold on. Like Demisio said, like and subscribe. Thank you, Demisio. And Sammy said, thumbs down. At least subscribe first. Right. Damn. If you gonna hit the thumbs down, the least you can do is subscribe, and then you can just mute the page. I don't know. Whatever you gotta do.
Some shoot, figure it out.
Right. All right, we got a caller in the queue, and it is going to be Mel. Hey Mel, what's up?
Hey, Mel.
Hey guys, how you doing?
How you doing?
Good. I haven't heard your voice in a while.
Yeah, I know. I've been calling to this channel in a minute. I've been watching the
I know
replay.
you don't like us no more. Are you the one hitting the thumbs down? Is that you?
No, Cortez, that ain't me. No. No, I know you. I know you don't, honey. And we talk off and on, with time. I ain't just liking none of your videos. Mhm. Anyway, you know what? I think that Caroline, for me, I'm looking at her a little sideways.
Which one?
Oh yeah, which one? Oh Lord. Okay,
Stansbury Brooks.
what? No, the one from the Ladies of London.
Okay.
Stansbury.
Stansbury. I don't know if she even know what city she in, because sometimes I feel like she moved from London to Dubai, and I just feel like she just is disconnected from how diverse the cast is. The cast is an extremely diverse cast, and I don't see how in any franchise it's not a sign of disrespect when you are first filming a show and you all have to commit to do these events together. That's a part of the function. You can shade the event, you can go there, but a part of the the chemistry of the cast and how the show runs, you have to show up to these things, even if you don't like it. I actually like when the ladies don't like it. It's even fun to watch because when they don't like it, they up there bitching and moaning. I like that. But what, with her husband or whatever he is, and she telling the ladies, oh, I got some of the most important things to do in the world, and they didn't even know what they was having for dinner. So I think that it was a little crazy that she didn't show up for the women's event. And then the lady with the French fries, that part actually made me laugh because she was raised up in Texas. So every time she goes somewhere, I guess for her, French fries to Nina is what Pinot Grigio is to Ramona in New York City. Every time she shows up somewhere, she had to have the Pinot Grigio. So I guess now in Dubai, every time that lady shows up, the funny part was, it was very funny to me, what she said, I ordered my French fries. She was ordering every time she sat down at every stage of that night, she wanted French fries. But the funny part was when the man came back an hour or whatever time later, she said, it took an hour and a half. I said, honey, if you make it from scratch, it's going to take about an hour and a half. It's going to take that time. You got to fry it, double fry, cool it, and fry it again. So, that man made it fresh for her. So it was very funny. Her, those French fries was like the woman with the alcohol. They just, whatever alcohol they use, for her, that's her addiction. But the three beautiful, drop dead gorgeous sisters. I mean, I can't even. I mean, beautiful. You the lady from Africa. We had the lady from the Caribbean. We have Carol. We have Brooks lady. All of them. I wish they would get along because they are so beautiful.
Those three or just the entire cast?
No, I want the three sisters. I'm going to focus.
Me too. And that's why I just don't get it. I really want Brooks the girl. Get off that side.
Yes.
I don't mind a little diversity, but child.
I want three sisters to get along. I'm sorry, I just want them to. And we got the two of them who are very good and together. But then we have Caroline Brooks or Brooks, whatever her last lady. She's sort of on the fence, and I don't want her. I want her to know that she should. I think she should stick together. The woman from the Middle East, Sarah and Nina, they seem disconnected. I want to watch a little more to see if they will get into it and say, okay, we see how Caroline is treating some of the other ladies, especially, the other lady. We see how Caroline's treating them and being dismissive to them. I want to see Nina and Sarah come and see where they come in at. That would be very curious to me. If they will, step up to Caroline because she is being dismissive and she's being rude. And I don't understand what that's about. I don't want to make any judgments, but it just seemed a little suspect to me with her.
Yeah.
On the other shows, she was with all white ladies. On this show, it's very diverse. And, we shall see if she if this show also have a racism scandal like every other show.
Right.
Every show on Bravo seems to, since our movement in 2020, have a scandal on the program. So
we got Sutton out here being accused of allegedly being accused of a racist scandal. So yeah, you're right.
But this is basketball.
I don't think that's the case, but I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
I
It
mean,
is.
I was gonna say because there's no other reason. It's not if the show just started. Why are you being so, like a queen? I know you're from London, but come on, you're in Dubai now. You don't got to be coming over here like the Queen of London or something.
It's one of those things for me. Like I watched Ladies of London when it was on and airing, and with her being from an aristocratic family, um, I think that she does have a superior attitude.
Mm-hmm.
I think that that's just naturally who she is as a person. But I don't think that I think that it read well when she was in Ladies of London. And like you said, she doesn't know how to adjust to the diversity of the cast in Dubai because it is like I loved her on Ladies of London, and in our group chat talking about Real Housewives of Dubai, I was very excited for Caroline Stansbury on this show. Like everybody in the chat will tell you, like I was Team Caroline, and the more I'm watching, the more I'm like, I don't know if I'm Team Caroline Stansbury anymore because the way she moves is just so. It's one thing to be superior, but not mesh with everyone, and it's like she just is there. It's like I feel like she's just a part of the cast because she was a familiar name, not
Mm-hmm.
because she brings anything to the ladies, and I
Yeah.
don't like that.
And when you're on an ensemble cast, we hate. I will say, I'm saying we, as I feel like we as the fan base, we hate when women on the cast deem themselves as a queen and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. She's not saying it, but she's acting as such. She's not meshing with. She's not meshing. She's not engaging, and it's like it's not really entertaining to watch because we
Yeah.
know that the most chaotic and the best scenes of Housewives are the group scenes. So I
Yeah.
Right.
mean, here we are, episode 3. You are already skipping out on events, and like somebody said in the chat, we don't even know what the real reason that you beefing with this girl for.
Right.
We're still a little confused about the backstory of where y'all are. So I agree, it's definitely a little like that's why I said like she's not that entertaining to me at this moment. And if the biggest thing she has going is this wedding, I'm leaning out, child.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think that's the reason why I have to watch to see
Yeah.
that if she legitimizes her attitude, if she
Yeah.
can convince me as a viewer that she has a legitimate gripe with the people, as she did when she was on Ladies with the
Ladies
Husband
of
show.
London,
I sort of agree with her sometime over there when on that program. I said, oh yeah, she was right about some things. Over
Mhm.
here, I'm confused. But you're
Mhm.
Yeah.
right about the Housewife franchise. So when Vicky did an OC, it was obnoxious. When it happened in Ramona did in New York City, it was obnoxious. When they became the queens, or in their minds, so they were the queen.
Mm-hmm.
One of the many reasons I like Potomac because they don't have any queens over there. They just all play together, and it gets messy. It is what it is. But
Yeah.
other shows, get a queen up there. Even in Atlanta, it gets it gets a little crazy. It slows it
Yeah.
down.
Chat, they spam in the chat. Okay, Mills, I gotta let you go. I got one more call to get on, but thank you for calling in and giving us your opinion. Okay,
Thank you,
Okay,
Mel.
I'm gonna like the video. I never disliked the
I know.
video. You listen. You got some crazy people sometimes watch the show. They be thinking, some crazy
What
stuff.
the hell is going on?
Well, what's going
Okay,
on
let me
now?
let you go, Mills. We got somebody some naked HD. What the hell? This is not what this channel's about.
Make it HD.
I don't know. It's a spam bot. Hey, Demetria, what's going on?
Hey
Hey,
guys,
Demetrio.
hey Chad, I'm good to see you up here, boo.
Thank you. That was.
So,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I did,
What you got to say, Demetria?
I did agree with everything that you said about Caroline Stansbury, Chad. I watched Ladies of London as well. I loved her on there, and I was kind of like Team Caroline when the first episode came on there too, because Ayan did come in like very much abrasive, very aggressive. So I was like, okay, like I'm loving Caroline, but like as it goes on, like I'm kind of feeling the same way too. But as far as what he said about like the race thing, I don't really think that's really gonna be an issue because Caroline's so self-absorbed with herself. She don't give a damn about them that much to make it about like
Race.
if that makes sense. Like she don't even
Yeah.
care about them that much if we want to be for real to like even go there as far as that deep into an issue, like making it about like them being black and her or whatever. Like, so I don't see that being a thing. But that is another thing that I do hate about these franchises and these TV shows is like the off-camera stuff because something happened between her and Ayan. Like, you can tell that she despises her. She does not like her. She does not see it for her. It ain't changing. I don't even think it's gonna change throughout the season. Like,
I
she just
agree.
she don't see it for Ayan. Like, you can tell, like, when she came to the dinner, she was like, "Hey, Stansberry." She's like, "It's Caroline, not Stansberry," even though everybody calls her Stansberry. Like,
Yeah.
it's just not. It's just not. No, something else happened, and I do hope that they get into that, because, like, this whole her not being invited, like, that's not the real issue. And if they continue with this, it makes it like kind of unauthentic, because that's not the real reason that y'all don't like each other. Like, what really happened between the two of them to make them feel that way? Because Ayan feels the same way too, and you can very much tell by the energy. She don't see it for Caroline either, and I do think it has a lot to do with her superior complex as well, because Caroline does walk around like she's that girl, even though I do feel that way, because I love Caroline too, and I do think that she gives off that energy, and I love that about her. But like y'all said, it does kind of not like mesh well, because this is not a group of white women.
Yeah.
It's
I,
like
li-
you.
I
Yeah.
like what I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm reading here. Torian says, I like what he said. She's jealous of Ayan. She wants to be the center of attention and she can't take. I think that's a very good
Yeah.
way to put it, because Ayan is one of those characters that is naturally a star. She
Yeah.
don't need, and what I just read JP Rob wrote before was that Caroline needs a nemesis to shine and Ayan is her target. And like these two messages, they go together so seamlessly,
Yeah.
because Ayan, when you are just a natural star, you exude it. When she
Mm-hmm.
was on Watch What Happens Live last week, it was nonstop. Like, you could tell
Right.
Andy was living for her. And
Mhm.
it was just, everything flows so natural. She's naturally funny. She's naturally beautiful. She's naturally, even, I don't even know. I watch the little stuff sometimes, but when you watch the, like when they go to commercial and come back, how all the women, they put up the diamonds, or they put up the, what's the name? If you go and pay attention, you have Stansberry and you have Ayan in the middle. It's something about the way Ayan raises her neck, like, I'm that girl.
Yeah.
It's very natural for her, and I think that Caroline cannot take. That's really what I think that it
Yeah.
is. She can't take her.
Yeah, because it's like the battle of the queen bees, because they have the boldest energies and personality. Like, they both exudes that I'm that bitch. Like, the rest of y'all are beneath me. Like, they both give off that energy, and when you have the power struggle, they're not gonna get along. It gives very much Nene and Kenya. Like, the two queen bees, the two big bold personalities clashing with each other and never gonna get along. But I also don't see Stansberry being on this show that long, because I mean, collectively, I do feel like this was a good group of women that they did put together. They all, like, even in like the little group scene that they had, like, besides the little petty conflict that they had about the invite stuff, like, they all kind of like meshed, if that makes sense. Like, they all like kikied and stuff like that. It wasn't just like they all were just there like trying to get to know each other. Like, they all kind of like clicked well. But I don't see Stansberry being on this show like very long term, like, at all. She just gives she don't care about them. Like, not going to the events and stuff like that. It's just she don't care. And the
Yeah.
dress she was talking about was the dress with the tie in the front.
Oh yeah,
The
that's the one
white
I was
dress.
talking about.
Yeah,
Yes, it was
Child,
stunning.
you better find that dress.
Listen, it was, that dress was stunning.
Yeah, but these last two episodes was definitely filler episodes to me. It
Yeah.
wasn't really like a lot to get from them. Like, I think it was more so a get to know them
I
before
mean,
the
it's fine, but this is not gonna be a long season. So
I think it turns up next week, because
yeah, I think it's coming. We gonna always get a few fillers, but when a new franchise, we like to see a little more. But I think it will get there. The first episode shows that it's there. We just
yeah.
have to, I guess the next big thing has to happen. It has to be another Ian and Staysbury follow
Yeah.
up, and then like they have to meet. They have to be in the same space, and I feel as though had she got her ass out that damn pee smelling bed and went to that event, then
Yeah.
she might have. It would have been a better episode, because you know what I'm saying. It would have just been
Right.
something to look forward to. So I don't know.
And I am
So
looking forward to the Lisa and Ayan versus Caroline Stansberry.
yeah, I was about to say that's what I think is coming, because the preview for next week, I kind of recapped it when you asked me earlier, Cortez, about it. It looks like we're finally going to get the scene between, well, the scene where you see Milan in the confessional and she's like, "Don't play with me, bitch. Play with your boy toy." I noticed on the forthcoming episode, Caroline tells her husband something about you looking like you want to fuck her or something like that, something along those lines.
Yeah.
And
Ooh.
Chanel, right, and Lisa is right next to him. So I think that this is where we're going to get the Lisa and Caroline, and I'm sure Ayana's going to jump in
Well,
and like,
good.
Because
All
you
right, so I gotta let you go. Okay, we got ready to lead out. We got well over
Right.
time. Okay.
All
All right. Thank you for
bye,
coming in.
WCO.
Okay, well, I didn't see that preview for next week, but I will watch it and see. We will be here next week for the episode. This particular show was a double Dubai feature because we did not do last week. That's why I went over a little longer. But thank y'all for all who have watched. It's been very active in the comments. Shout out to JP Rob, Mel Morgan. Shout out to the spam bot that was in here to my cheapest sex. I hope it. I tried to remove what I could, chat, but it just wouldn't go.
Lord.
I know, what the hell. Shout out to the BCO, Carry Conversations, Charles, Prince J, I think it was in earlier, and everybody who watched today. Definitely a good show. You know, Dubai is a new show. It's new for us, so it will grow. It'll be at the same level of Dubai, Salt Lake City, and Atlanta. But until then, we can continue to chat about it and lean on it. With that being said, we'll go ahead and lean out. Like I say every time, be sure to like and subscribe to this. Subscribe to the channel, but like this video and go and check out the Beverly Hills review yesterday. We had a good time yesterday.
Yes.
Check out Atlanta. Atlanta and Beverly Hills are really heating up, I will say. You know, Ultimate Girls Trip is coming up soon. You know, we're going to talk about it. Married to Medicine, July 10th is coming soon. So just subscribe to the channel. A lot of big things. There'll be a big hot girl summer and a even more hot girl lean summer or hot boiled summer. I don't want to misgender nobody, so I don't want to do that. But yeah, make sure y'all like, subscribe, and we'll see y'all next time. Okay? Y'all have a good one.
All right.
Thursday. We'll see y'all Monday for Atlanta. Good night.
Night, night.